back to the Seattle Seahawks Realistc franchise. We are going to be traveling to Ford Field to take on the Detroit Lions, who enter this game at 3-3, while the Seattle Seahawks enter in with a 5-1 record. As you can see right there, there's a beautiful sight of Ford Field, the kind of the sideline / overhead view right there. And look at Stafford, man, just giving all of his teammates high fives as you see Tyler Lockett leading out the troops this time around. And here we go. There's Darius Slay right there, and then you got Marvin Jones and Theo Riddick in the background. You see LeGarrette Blount trying to get Golden Tate hyped up, also talking to Stafford. Speaking of LeGarrette Blount, here's a look at what he did last week. 20 carries for 85 yards. But that touchdown, the touchdown count, 3. He pulled out the hat trick last week, and it looks like Seattle is about to kick it off to Theo Riddick, the receiving back, who we're going to see a lot of in this game, I would imagine. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off. Sebastian Janikowski. Here we go. And we're off, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ford Field. The Detroit Lions going to take the ball about 3 or 4 yards in the back of the end zone, and Theo Riddick is going to take a knee. Matthew Stafford entering the year has a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. He enters this game, of course, with 12 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He's balling out this year, it's fair to say. As you see right here, Stafford gonna throw it underneath the Golden Tate, the former Seattle Seahawk. He's brought down by Earl Thomas and company. Here we go. Now they're trying to spread him out. Tate is in the slot with Justin Coleman, and it is going to be play action. Probably should have handed it off. And there's Barkevious Mingo coming off the edge for a big sack. Honestly, if they would have handed it off to Blount right there, he would have had a lane to run through. I mean, look at that lane right there. He's at least getting 7 or 8 yards before getting contacted. And we all know LeGarrette Blount's a hard runner when it comes to, no contact, of course. And now it's a split backfield. You got LeGarrette Blount and Luke Wilson, the former Seattle Seahawk, as well. And it's a screen pass, and KJ Wright is there to blow the play up. And that will force a 4th down. Seattle, a really good defensive unit. Not the flashiest, but they are here to stay. As we see Tyler Lockett right here, he's trying to set the edge, makes a man miss, and he's going to gain extra yards for his man Russell Wilson to come out onto the football field and try to do his thing. It's been a very interesting year for Russell Wilson. 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I think people expected him, for his elite status, to be a little bit more careful with the football, but it hasn't happened. We'll see how this game fares for him. Russell Wilson gonna throw it to Jaron Brown right there, and it looks like Jeremiah Ledbetter for the Detroit Lions goes down on the first play. That's unfortunate, something you don't want to see. 2nd and 2 right here. Detroit coming in with not necessarily the best defense, but that bend but don't break mentality could come in handy. As you see, J.D. McKissick now is going to be spread out wide. And there's Russell Wilson climbing the pocket and finding his man Brandon Marshall. And another Detroit Lion goes down. That's Anthony Zettel, the former Penn State defensive lineman. As you see Russell Wilson able to climb the pocket and just make the throw. Glover Quinn, of course, coming in on the tackle. We see now the safety starting to creep up in the box. Wilson going to hand it off to Rashad Penny, who is going to officially get the start. Even with J.D. McKissick back, they want to introduce McKissick into a different role. Penny's mainly going to get the rushes, but that was a good run right there for 16. Now they're going to bring in their heavy set, and Chris Carson has entered the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a Chris Carson sighting. And here goes Carson, and he is going to pick up about 7. Chris Carson, they love using him in these heavy sets and trying to get the football to him, and they do what they can out there. And of course, we're looking at the I formation right here. Trey Madden is back into the game, and Wilson, a careless throw, didn't see the safety. He was looking for Will Dissly, and a red zone turnover for Russell Wilson. Not what you want to see right there. Wilson thought he had his guy open, but unfortunately, that was not the case. Now it's first down for Stafford, and Blunt trying to run up the middle, but he's brought down by Nazir Jones. That was one of the few careless interceptions we've seen from Russell Wilson. A lot of tip drills, a lot of miscommunication. That's on Russell Wilson. Here we go. Matthew Stafford. He's just going to dump it off to Luke Wilson. And a big-time hit from Maurice Alexander. And now all of a sudden it's 3rd and 3. And it looks like they're going to be 7 men in the box. Stafford. Ooh, nice play action. And Luke Wilson going to get his feet down. And they're going to move the chains. It's first down now for Detroit. Detroit looking like they're going to put a drive together. Remember, they're coming into this game 3 and 3. It's been a rocky season for them playing 500 football, but they can easily get some more momentum, and they're going to hand it off to Theo Riddick, and he's brought down by Nazir Jones. We've said his name a couple of times now. He's getting more active in the run game. Hopefully he can provide a nice push in the pocket. We'll see how it goes for him, of course. Earl Thomas creeping down, trying to play the sideline. And Stafford, he's got options, and he's going to throw it to former Falcons tight end Levine Tololo. He's going to be brought down quickly by Earl Thomas. And here we go, man. 3rd and 5. There's only so many options you can go with. And they're going to spread them out. 5 wide. And Stafford had Theo Riddick open, but he elects to throw it to Luke Wilson. Bobby Wagner with the deflection. I think Stafford had Theo Riddick open. Could have got some potential yardage on that play. And Lockett going to call for the fair catch. Well, at least the Seattle Seahawks were able to say they could drive on this defense. But you got to finish it. You got to get to your destination. And your destination is the red zone, the end zone. That's where you need to be. McKissick now with a run up the gut. Oh, and he fumbles on his first carry. But one of the offensive linemen was able to cover it up. McKissick, who is just now coming back into the rotation after missing over a month of action. I mean, that's not what you want to see. And there's Ed Dixon, who was demoted from the starting tight end position, and Ezekiel Ansah is down, a 3rd Detroit Lions player. Yeah, Ed Dixon was demoted for Will Dissly after an inconsistent season from him. He's been having a drop issue. So they decided to put a new face in there, and there's Rashad Penny, a nice juke back inside. It's only going to get him 2, but he prevented a loss right there. 2nd and 8 now for Russell Wilson. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And McKissick is back in the game after that crucial fumble. And Will Dissly is going to get the first down grab. Dissly starting to come into his own all of a sudden, gaining a lot of confidence by the week, which is very important for a guy like him. Here we go. McKissick now also staying in for this drive. And Will Dissly again. Nice throw over the middle by Russell Wilson. All of a sudden now they're starting to drive on him again, but if you're Russell Wilson, you got to be careful with the football. Right here, it's going to be 2nd and 1. They're going to go ahead and elect to run the football. Yes, they are. Rashad Penny, did he get enough? I think he did. This Detroit Lions run defense, they're trying. Remember, Seattle's offensive line isn't that great either. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. And they're gonna give the ball back to J.D. McKissick. And J.D. almost got the first down, tackled for a gain of 9. And let's see if Seattle elects to get the playoff. And they're not going to. They're just going to let the clock run. And we got a 0-0 ball game in Seattle. Or not in Seattle, in Detroit. Seattle, however, they turned the ball over on their first possession. It was a red zone interception from Russell Wilson. And now as they creep back into the red zone, they're trying to find some success as Penny gets a 2-yard gain right there. Rashad Penny just keeps the chains moving. That's what you want to see from your rookie back. And Rashad Penny is going to stay in there. And they're going to give him another first down carry, and he's brought down by Glover Quinn for a gain of 2. And it's like we've said that a lot. A gain of 2. A gain of 2. Gaining 2 yards per carry is not going to get you wins in the NFL. It's not even going to get you a first down, bud. But here's something that's not a gain of 2. How about a first down run? A gain of 9 right there for Rashad Penny. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a Chris Carson sighting. He's back on the football field. Let's see what he does with his carry. And Carson going to get at least 4 yards right there, maybe 3. Yep, they're going to give him 3. Chris Carson, he's been a good rotational back. He doesn't necessarily get crazy amounts of touches or a crazy amount of carries, but listen, when you get limitations, you gotta make the most of it. And there's Russell Wilson, who finds Ed Dixon for a touchdown. Ed Dixon, remember, he was demoted for Will Dissly, and now he's saying, yo, I want my starting job back. Can't blame him. I mean, when Russell Wilson was looking for Will Dissly in the end zone, it got picked off. Well, he finds Ed Dixon and he gets a touchdown. You gotta wonder, is Ed Dixon gonna get the starting gig back? As you see Theo Riddick about 4 yards deep into his end zone, he's just gonna knee it. And Seattle all of a sudden starting to gain some more momentum. Looks like we're gonna go with the weak formation right here. Stafford, oh, it's a stretch to Blunt. He tries to look for the hole, but Frank Clark is able to clean it up. Our defensive captain, aside from Bobby Wagner, of course. They're going to spread out these receivers. Theo Riddick is in the game as well. He's subbing in for Blunt. And it's a handoff to Riddick. And he is met by Earl Thomas, who is not falling for his shiftiness anytime soon. Theodore Riddick, though, you got to give him credit. He gained some of those yards back, and now all of a sudden we're looking at a 3rd and short. Alexander comes out of the box. He's just going to play this as tight as he can. And Galladay able to create separation from Shaquille Griffin. Not a good look right here for Griffin. It's been an up and down season for him. You got to find consistency somewhere in your secondary. Galladay finding a way to get open. Now we're looking at a pistol set. Stafford just going to hike the football. He's going to dump it off to LeGarrette Blount, who almost stepped out of bounds. He gives a stiff arm to Earl Thomas, and he is brought down by Dante Johnson. LeGarrette Blount right there just reintroducing himself to Earl Thomas. 2 tight ends on the right side of your screen right here. Stafford making an adjustment. And it's a handoff to Blunt, and he's met by Alexander and Earl Thomas, who was just stiff-armed to the ground like on the previous touch for Blunt. Now here we go, 3rd and 3. It's a split backfield between LeGarrette Blount and Luke Wilson. Here we go, 3rd down and 3. It's a screen and it almost gets picked off right there. Wagner tried to go in for it, but there was an offensive lineman in the way. And now Sam Martin, the punter, he's going to just boom this one to the 24. Bad angle on the punt. Probably could have put a little bit more power into it. But that's the result. Under 4 minutes to go here in Detroit for the Seattle Seahawks. Can they get another score? Let's see. 1st down, and Ed Dixon. Tight window throw, tight catch right there. 6-yard gain for Ed Dixon. Here we go, 2nd down. They're going to give this to Rashad Penny, and he gets leveled by Jarrett Davis. A gain of 2. There's that phrase again. Here we go, 3rd and 3. We got 3 tight ends on the field. What's Russell Wilson thinking? Oh, it's a fake. Okay, so they're not going to throw it to Carson, but Russell Wilson's going to take a slide right there, and he gets 9 yards. Probably could have took a shot if he wanted to, but got to be careful with the football in these situations. Rashad Penny back in for Chris Carson. Normally when you see Chris Carson, he's getting a carry, but not in that situation. And the 2-minute warning is here. And of course, 2 minutes to go until halftime. 2nd and 5 right here. Let's see. It's Rashad Penny who is stepping in. And they're going to give it to him. And he's going to pick up the 1st down. Seattle, I mean, they're not rushing. They're cool, calm, and collective on this drive. Normally you'd be seeing them try to hurry up, and for them, they're just taking their time. They're trying to select the right plays, and they're just going to go on with their business. They're going to motion out Rashad Penny. Okay, interesting look. And Wilson goes to throw it. It looks like he was probably going to take the deep shot. 2nd and 10 right here. At least he was hit as he was throwing it, and he didn't take a sack, because then they would have probably had to use a timeout. And here we go. Baldwin stays in bounds right there. Did he get the 1st down? I think they're going to give it to him. And look at Pete Carroll. I mean, they're not going to use the timeout. They're electing to just keep their guys on the field. You got to like it. And J.D. McKissick, they've been very careful with giving him carries. He fumbled the first one, and he gets a gain of 8 right there. He's doing the most with his carries. You got to like it. Ed Dixon coming into the game as well. Penny returns to the lineup. And Disley right there. And Seattle finally going to use a timeout. You don't want to give Detroit a chance in their home building to do some home cooking, so Seattle being very conservative with the timeouts. And you see Darius Slay has been following Doug Baldwin all game. That's something to pay attention to. And Disley going to get the 1st down grab, but a flag has been thrown. This one may be coming back. We'll have to see what it is. It's holding on the offense. Yep, left tackle Dwayne Brown gets called for the hold right there, and man, you hate to see it. If you're Detroit, you love to see it. And Chris Carson's in the game. He is not going to be running the football on this play. And Vanett, what a big catch from Vanett. And they're going to go no huddle. They're going to go no huddle. Interesting. Russell Wilson. He's going to throw it to Vanett again, and he's going to get in the end zone for a touchdown. And look at Nick Vanett flexing. All of a sudden, we have a competition at tight end. Nick Vanett submitting his application with that touchdown. He boosted his resume as well. Vanett, who's the third tight end on the depth chart, we don't see him a whole lot on the football field unless it's to come in and block for Chris Carson. But on that series, the last couple of plays, he made 2 big catches, gained about 30 yards, and a touchdown. Can't complain. And the thing about Russell Wilson is he's willing to throw the football to any receiver. You just got to be open. That's the rule. And Russell Wilson now 2 receivers, 1 tight end. It looks like they may just run the ball out. And that's what they're going to do. LeGarrette Blount finds a hole brought down by Griffin. And they are going to call a timeout. They being Detroit. Now Theo Riddick comes in. They're going to bring in 3 receivers and a tight end. Stafford throws it over the middle. Tate hangs on to it. They pick up the first down, and all of a sudden, Detroit may try to take a bomb shot or something, and get in the field goal range real quick. You got to think of something. And they're going to throw the screen pass, and Wagner is there to clean it up. They lost yardage on the play. Hell, they lost yardage. Stafford, it looks like they're going to go for the Hail Mary. We've seen Aaron Rodgers throw a Hail Mary in the same stadium. And Bradley McDougald, it hits his hands. Seattle is up 14-0 on the Detroit Lions as we are officially back entering the second half. And the ball is going to be kicked off right here. Penny going to receive it. And here we go. Rashad Penny. Oh, he had a crease, but he just couldn't get there. A touchdown saving tackle right there by Levine Tololo. Rashad Penny saw the gap and he took it. Unfortunately, couldn't get into the end zone. Wow, that's a heartbreaker. And Russell Wilson, he's just going to run out of the pocket and he's going to slide right there. Nice run from Russell Wilson. He saw the linebacker blitzing. Rashad Penny was going out for a pass. Nobody was able to account for the linebacker, so he just made the best decision possible. Keep the football and just run. They're going to motion Tyler Lockett. Oh, and Penny right there going to be brought down for a gain of 8. We've seen Rashad Penny and J.D. McKissic rip some good runs. Of course, J.D. McKissic fumbled, but luckily the offensive line was able to have his back right there. Justin Britt picking up the fumble for him. Penny's going to stay in the game. I mean, after that long kick return, honestly, I thought he'd be winded. As you see right there, he's starting to slow down, but he picks up 10 yards. I thought Rashad Penny would be winded, but he's staying out there. He's a trooper. And now J.D. McKissic's going to come in. Penny now taking the break. Disley, tough catch right there. Probably only picked up a few. Yeah, he picked up 4 yards. That's 4 catches now for Will Disley for a whopping 29 yards. JD, nice run right there, picking up 9. He's had a good game running the football. He's averaging he has 4 rushes, but he's averaging 8.5 yards a carry. He's doing some damage in the run game. And Chris Carson's back. Let's see what he can do on this run, and he's going nowhere. Only 1 yard for Chris Carson. Ah, you hate to see it. Brought down by Devon Kennard, or Devon Kennard, however you want to pronounce it. Rashad Penny, he is going in motion. Looks like a linebacker's gonna pick him up right there, and Will Dissly trying to cut up field, and he is brought down for a gain of 5. And it's 3rd and 5 all of a sudden. Dissly with 5 catches for 34. And the Seahawks are going to motion Rashad Penny out there. And there's nobody covering Rashad Penny. That's basically a free touchdown. Wow. Normally you can detect whether the coverage is good or not if they follow somebody in motion. Nobody followed him. Nobody accounted for him. It was zone coverage as well. Normally you're thinking, okay, well, I can move one of my linebackers or safety over there to check Penny. Nobody moved over there. Oh, but the kick gets blocked and Janikowski has to cover it. Detroit, a little upset about that last play. They took it out on the kicker. Now it's just 20-0. And Theo Riddick gonna take a knee. Matthew Stafford and company, you would imagine they gotta get some points on the board. They have to do something. And here we go. Stafford, he's gonna throw it to Kenny Golladay. He's brought down by Bobby Wagner, and all of a sudden Kenny Golladay, he's grabbing that shoulder. Hopefully he's okay. You don't like to see players go down with injuries. And Golden Tate gonna make a quick grab, but Earl Thomas is gonna come down there and make the tackle. A little Seahawk on Seahawk action, because Golden Tate, like we mentioned earlier in the video, used to play for Seattle. It must be weird playing your former team, you know. And Theo Riddick, nice. Okay. Good play right there by Jaron Reed. He didn't give up at all on the play. It's a little awkward right there. It almost looked like a busted play. Here we go in the pistol formation to Stafford. Oh, and Tate somehow gets past that zone coverage, and now he's hurt. This has been the game of injuries right here for Detroit. As you see, he's going to have to step out for a moment. Another pistol look, this time with the fullback. And it's a draw to Blunt. And Nasir Jones is having to chase him down. The Seattle Seahawks team, man, they are coming to play. TJ Jones is also in the game. Marvin Jones is playing. All in the place for Kenny Golladay and Golden Tate. As you see, Mo Alexander prevents the first down. He came in there quick. And all of a sudden, Seattle, or not Seattle, Detroit, excuse me, has a chance to score. And look at Blunt. Blunt has a crease. And Earl Thomas potentially just saved a touchdown, him and KJ Wright. To set the guy in motion, they were thinking it's a pass, and all of a sudden they just hand it off the other way. That's just how it works sometimes. Under center now is Stafford. He's going to fake it to Blunt after running it a few times. And Luke Wilson with the catch. Earl Thomas saving the touchdown. You got to think, okay, your team's at the 1 yard line. What are you going to do? Oh, and Mo Alexander bites on the tackle. And LeGarrette Blunt able to score a touchdown for the Detroit Lions. Of course, LeGarrette Blount has a little bit of a history with Seattle. He faced him in the Super Bowl when he was a part of the New England Patriots. So he knows a thing or two about a thing or two when it comes to Seattle. And right here, Rashad Penny going to get another crack at the return. Oh, and Penny had the crease, but he gets stopped up. He had the crease right there, and he saw it, but it just closed up right before he could get there. Seattle has twice the amount of yards as Detroit in this game. But it's not about yards, it's about points. Can't stress that enough. Dixon with a one-handed grab, a little thrown behind him, and Dixon only going to get 2 yards for his effort. Oh, man. Will Dissly going to come over and try to provide some blocking, and Rashad Penny is just going to get to the edge, and he fumbled trying to make a move, and Ziggy Ansah, who ended up coming back into the game, he's hurt again, and Penny just put one on the ground. Oh man, that's tough. That's tough, brother. Now Stafford and company, they got the momentum. They just got to score. And TJ Jones is going to catch the ball. He's brought down by Bobby Wagner. And we are towards the end of the third quarter. And the game's been picking up in terms of excitement. Will they run the play? No, they're going to let the third quarter go out. And it's 20-7. If Detroit scores here, if they get a touchdown, we got a ball game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, they blocked the PAT. Maybe that's the difference maker in this game. Pistol formation now for Stafford. They've ran that a few times today. And Blount, oh, the big man misses the tackle. Oh, he jukes out of the fender. And Frank Ragnow, the guard/center, he plays a little bit of both for Detroit. He goes down with an injury. And Earl Thomas, it's been a hard game for Earl Thomas, let me tell you. Stafford in an empty formation. Oh, nice play design, but a big hit by Bobby Wagner on his former teammate, Luke Wilson. And all of a sudden, Detroit, they're getting some momentum going. And here we go right here. Theo Riddick in the ball game. And it's just going to be a straight-up draw play. We're trying to find the cuts and the angles, and Earl Thomas just brings him down. It hasn't been a good day for Theo Riddick in terms of running the football. But sometimes you just got to give it a shot. And look at Earl Thomas right there, basically avoiding the fullback and getting back there to make the tackle. Look at this. Look at how he just avoids him. 3rd and goal now, 8 yards to go. And we got TJ Jones on a linebacker. That's a matchup you better pay attention to. And Stafford overthrows it. I think he was looking for either Kenny Golladay or LeGarrette Blount. And it's 4th and goal, and they're going to go for it. They're going to go for it. I don't know if it's a wise decision. I don't know what you do in this situation. It's very tough. You either take the points or you just risk it. Draw play, probably not the best play call for this situation, but it is what it is. And now all of a sudden, if you're Seattle, how do you get out of your own end zone? We've seen teams get safeties because of this situation. And they're going to give it to Rashad Penny, who already put it on the floor once today. He's been having a killer game in the return game. He's been able to get some good runs off. But it seems like for every good run, he's getting 2 carries for a gain of 2. And he does it again. And now Ed Dixon going to come over and provide some help in the run game. Penny, Rashad Penny. Can he beat Glover Quinn? Oh, he does. What a long run for Rashad Penny. What a long run right there. And Matt Patricia is livid. Rashad Penny started running out of gas right here. They just went from their 8-yard line, or excuse me, you want to go back to the start of the drive? They just went from their 4-yard line to the opponent's 14-yard line in 2 plays, 2 running plays. And now Carson gonna try to get something going. He only gets a gain of 2. Detroit entered this game with one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. Their pass defense is actually in the middle of the pack, which kind of levels out their defense a bit, but not by a whole lot, as you've seen in this game. And there's J.D. McKissick, who's going to get a gain of 9. Maybe a gain of 7, excuse me. Yeah, there's total defense. Season ranked their 8th. That's one of their bright spots statistically, is total defense. They don't give up a lot of yards. But in this game, it has been wild. And Russell Wilson just going to make a claim, and he gets a touchdown. When you see the crease, you got to take it. And all of a sudden, it's time for a 2-point conversion. You know, sometimes on these 2-point conversions, you got to give them your best play or one of your better plays. So Russell Wilson, what's he going to do? He's just going to take off again. He saw pressure coming in his face. He climbs the pocket, and he's like, you know what? It's 2 yards out. I'm just going to take it myself. And as you see right there, 5 plays, 95 yards. Really about 96. Look at Russell Wilson. He climbs the pocket. He sees the free rusher. He's not even going to risk anything. It's 28-7. Seattle has taken back the momentum for sure. And if you're Matt Patricia, you're probably questioning yourself, why did we go for it in that situation? If we get a field goal, we stop Seattle, we get a quick score, all we got to do is stop them one more time. We could get the ball back, maybe with a timeout, and we can go down the field and kick a field goal to tie it. Now all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, damn, here we are, down by 3 touchdowns. And now we just got to not make it a blowout. They throw it to Luke Wilson. He's going to pick up the first down, brought down by Shaquille Griffin. You got to be asking yourself these types of questions. I know it's hard to think long term about possible outcomes in a football game, but as a head coach, hell, as a defensive coordinator turned to a head coach, you kind of have to know how these situations could play out. That's the difference between Pete Carroll, who's been around for a while, and Matt Patricia. No offense to Matt Patricia, of course, but this is his first year as a full-time head coach. He's always been a coordinator, and Blunt going to get the screen pass, but he's brought down this time by Jaron Reed, who couldn't catch him on the last drive that set up for a red zone opportunity. Now Theo Riddick comes into the game. Stafford, shotgun formation. And they're going to throw it to Kenny Golladay. And Shaquille Griffin has been struggling against Kenny Golladay, it seems like. He's creating just enough separation to get away from him, which you have to do. Stafford sees 8 in the box. He's just going to throw it. He's going to hike it, and he overthrows Theo Riddick. He had him. Riddick had a step on KJ Wright. Probably could have took it to the house. Oh, man. You hate to see it. 2nd and 10 now. Luke Wilson on the left side of your screen. And there he is. Luke Wilson's been one of the go-to targets for Matthew Stafford. Yeah, and Luke Wilson has 6 catches today for 83 yards, the former Seattle Seahawks tight end. And a lot of people were thinking, you know, well, what's Seattle going to do without Jimmy Graham, who's with Green Bay, and Luke Wilson, who's with Seattle? They were able to somewhat address the position. They brought in Will Dissly, who was a draft pick, and as you see, Barkevious Mingo brings him down right there. 2-minute warning. Yeah, they bring in Ed Dixon, who was a longtime Carolina Panther, and they drafted Will Dissly. They've been playing nice for the Seahawks. They do what they're supposed to do. Will Dissly now getting the start over Ed Dixon. We may have to readdress that. Nick Vannett may demand more playing time, and we'll see. Nice draw play from Theo Riddick. So you see right here, everyone's trying to hurry up and get to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to throw it to Theo Riddick. Big hit, and somehow hangs on to the football. And here we go, Stafford. Just going to call a quick play. And he's going to dump it off to Riddick, who was brought down on the play by nickel corner Justin Coleman. Oh, and almost an interception right there. It looked like Griffin and Coleman got their hands in there. 3rd and 6. Seattle knows they're 2 plays away from winning this football game. You got to do something. Amir Abdullah now enters the game. Oh, and what a play from Earl Thomas. Was that a one-hander? That looked like a one-handed grab for an interception. And Earl Thomas, we've heard all the rumors about him holding out. And here he is making a big play, big statement win here in Detroit. Now they just got to run the football out. Carson got himself a hard-earned 1-yard gain right there. Seattle able to come in here and they delivered. And Penny gonna get himself another yard as well. And what a game he's had, man. We know he fumbled, but outside the fumble, he's had some good runs. He's had some solid kick returns to give his team great field position to start the game out, or start the drive out, I should say. Penny's just been a big factor for them. And J.D. McKissick, of course, getting some playing time right there. And Rashad Penny going to end the game on 161 yards rushing. And that's it. They're going to take it back to the locker room. They're done. Nice run from Rashad Penny. 28-7. The Seattle Seahawks are able to win this game. Matt Patricia looks irate. Pete Carroll looks happy to be here. So you see some of the screenshots right here from your game. Nice move there from Penny. 239 rushing yards as a team. They didn't really pass it as well as you would think. But 28-7, that tells you everything you need to know. Detroit has a lot to work on with the run defense. Their offense is good. You just got to put more points on the board if you're Matthew Stafford and company. And there is your game, ladies and gentlemen. Russell Wilson, of course, aside from the one interception, he balled out today. Stafford, of course, had more yards, but yards don't win games. Points do. Figured I'd just throw that out there. Both of them, their longest pass was 21 yards. Kind of hard to believe right there. Rashad Penny, of course, fumbling today. Blunt and Riddick did their thing. Carson, McKissick, and Russell Wilson did a good job. And in the receiving game. I mean, Ed Dixon and Nick Vannett. Rashad Penny, of course. Not really a big day in the receiving game, but tight ends were able to come up with the big plays. And Earl Thomas, 11 tackles, a tackle for loss, and an interception. Only 1 sack. It was from Markevius Mingo. That's something we have to address this year as well. But man, what a great game it was. Next week we'll be playing the LA Chargers. Should be a fun one. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and we'll see you next time.